Shout out to whoever commented that I bear a similarity to Christian Bale, who's Batman. That's awesome. Thank you for that. You may or may not know that Father Mike Schmitz auditioned for the role of Robin in Batman Forever back in the day. You could say the Lord spared him. That role went to Chris O'Donnell instead. If I'm Batman, that makes Father Mike my Robin. Hey, this is Bobby Angel with Ascension Presents. Today I want to talk to you about fatherhood and especially men. You're going to fail at fatherhood, but we need you to embrace your fatherhood and get in the game, so to speak. A friend of mine said to me a while ago, he was watching me with my kids, he said, dude, you're so patient and you're just so like kind and loving to your kids. And I looked at him like, dude, if you had any idea what goes on in my head on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Whew. Fatherhood is the most exhausting and rewarding thing you will ever do. This is what makes you a man, is dying to yourself. And unless a grain falls and dies, there won't be any new life. And I believe there's such a crisis in masculinity and men today because dads are MIA. You know, in the early 1900s, it was like under 10% of children would be born to a family without a father. And now we're anywhere between 40 to even in some communities, 80% of fatherlessness rate. And so that absolutely takes a toll on meaning, on like helping me understand what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to act. And especially when it comes to the faith, and if God is Father and Father's not around, then that's my understanding of God, and that can take a long time to undo if we're ever able to even name that I project my image of God the Father onto my earthly father, for better or for worse. Now, I was blessed with a great dad. We could not wait, my brother and I could not wait for him to get home from work, to attack him. He could barely get his tie off in time. Not a perfect man, but man, he loved us, and he poured out a lot in the annoying jobs, but he never brought any of that stuff home. He just wanted to love his wife. He just wanted to love his kids. And so before I ever was a dad myself, I feel like he gave me that model. And again, such a gift and a blessing. And so be sure to be grateful and thank your dad if he was present, if he worked hard. And now being a dad, like I understand, like I got my flaws, like I lose patience. I'm on the phone sometimes too much in front of my kids, or, you know, you just want me time and they're there following you into the bathroom, in the car, in every place you go for solitude, they are there. But what a gift to have this little creature following you around, wanting to be with you, just wanting to be loved and recognized. That's the amazing role of being a dad. That again, if you're going for perfection, you're not going to hit it, which is why you're going to fail at fatherhood, and that's okay. But you need to get in the game. The poet William Wordsworth said that the child is the father of the man. A friend of mine also said that, it took me a while to understand that. A friend of mine also phrased it as, men don't make babies, babies make men. Again, when rightfully taken on, the challenge of fatherhood is one that really forces us to grow up, to put my own desires, needs, and wants at the foot of my children, at the foot of my family, really. That I need to absolutely make time to be attentive to my spouse. I need to love my kids. And again, to have that responsibility of this is how they're going to experience the love of God first and foremost. Whew. And so, again, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the challenge. I know a lot of guys, they run from this. They think, oh, my life is over. When I have kids, it's like, yeah, kind of, that's true. Like your life is over, but it's an amazing new chapter that really, I feel like it's difficult to get to this point of really selflessness and holiness. I'd say this is God's way for so many people to grow in holiness. For those of us called to marriage, and if you're blessed with children, like they will make you holy. Like they will unearth your frustrations, where you have impatience, where you have self-centeredness. They will reveal that, and that's an opportunity to either run off and throw your own little tantrum, or grow up and offer that and be again, present, that it's not, the diaper is not in the obstacle to holiness. It is through the diaper, through this diaper full of you know what, that you say, I offer up this moment to serve my child. I offer up my time. I try to be at their games. I try to be at their theater shows. I try to give them the time of day. Especially, we're all so connected to our phones and devices now, to be able to put that aside and give them eyeball time. To be present as a father is so important. The antidote for a culture of death is a culture of life, and men who are raised up, men who are embracing the challenge of honoring women, of not using them as objects, and of not being afraid to be fertile and multiply. Like, that's God's first commandment. And you know, I see guys and they're like, oh, you got 3 kids? Like, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know. My wife's grandma had 11 kids. Like, people freak out at 3 nowadays. That's a whole nother conversation. I saw a guy in the gym. He's like, you got 3? He's like, no way. After 1, I was snip, snip. It's like, that broke my heart. Like, man, like, yeah, they're a lot of work. And yeah, money for diapers just goes off right out of your wallet. But man, like, you learn how to love, and you participating in God's call for us to love. And I feel like my own understanding of God as the Father has just deepened with this in becoming a dad myself, that if I love these kids, even when they make mistakes, even when they poop all over themselves, if I love them no matter what, this is just a tiny glimpse of how God the Father loves me and loves you. That no matter what we do, no matter the level of our sin, no matter the habit of our sin, no matter like just the stuff we're in, there's nothing we can do to escape that love, that relentless love that is coming after you every single day. Every single day, God the Father is waiting for you to come, take time, you know, run and sit before Him. He wants to just look at you. He wants to just look at you with love and fill you up that way, and just say, I am proud of you. I'm so proud of you, that you are, not because you've achieved anything, but because you exist. Because you exist. I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I've called you to this creation, and I've called you to participate in it, and I need you to participate in this life, to be life-giving, not shut off to the gift of life. You're not going to do it perfect, but it's the greatest gift you're ever going to get. Again, perhaps your own dad wasn't around. Perhaps you didn't have a model of fatherhood. We're not doomed to repeat the mistakes of our parents. Some people run from being parents because they're afraid of making the mistakes of their parents. Some people run from marriage because they are wounded by divorce and they want nothing to do with marriage. But listen, you can stop the cycle. Sometimes we have to undo the mistakes of our parents. Sometimes it's on us to ask God for that healing. And so if you're in that spot, ask God for healing. Like, God, heal my heart. Help me to see you as a father. Help me to not be afraid of being a parent, if that's what you're calling me to do or to be. I will say, too, you're never ready. It's this, well, I got to get this job, and I got to get this house, and I got to get everything lined up before I ever think about a kid. You'll never be ready. Now, that's not saying be reckless and just repopulate, your town. I'm saying that there will never be this perfect moment where you're ready. You can read as many books as you want. You can watch whatever tutorial videos. You will never be ready to be a parent. God will give you that gift when it's time. From all of us at Ascension, God bless.